Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
So check it out. The D6 Squad has merch now. We got hoodies, tees, mugs, whatever you need. Check it out. Link in the description. What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. We got some Jaelan Phillips tape here. This is actually Quincy Roche tape, but you'll see an arrow sometimes pointed at him, maybe. But we're going to be focusing on number 15 here. Number 15, not Greg Rousseau. Greg Rousseau opted out this year. This is Jaelan Phillips. And Jaelan Phillips, man, a couple of years ago, he was at UCLA. He retired because they thought it was a career-ending injury. Comes out of retirement and plays for the University of Miami. He had a great season. He had a really good season. And if he had more than one good season, and if he hadn't had to retire in the past because of injuries, I would have Jaelan Phillips as a top 12 prospect in this draft. I would be banging on the table for the Giants to take him. Now, since he does have these things, he does have the injury issue, and he does have the lack of experience issue, the lack of not experience, but the lack of long-standing production on his side, he's probably going to go somewhere in the 20s or early second round. Now, there's a small, tiny chance that he ends up landing on the Giants in that second round. And if he's there, I feel like you have to pull that trigger. This is a guy who can be a generational pass rusher. He's got all the physical tools, and he's got a lot of the mental tools too. So we're going to start this off here. This is just going to be a handoff right across to get this running back in between, pretty much right behind this tackle, through where this guard is. Phillips is just going to sniff this whole thing out. He's just going to sniff the whole thing out, and he's going to shut it down. Not only is he going to sniff it out, he's going to shut it down completely. So he starts off great pad level, explosive get off, gets his hands inside. This way the tackle cannot grab him. His hands are outside, so if you grab him here, it's a hold. Disposes of this tackle, bench presses this guy. And then at this point, he's in the backfield. He's in the backfield as soon as the handoff is made. He's already in the backfield, and he makes a tackle. On this particular play, he doesn't get blocked. And when you don't get blocked, usually there's something fishy going on. So what they want him to do is head up the field and run himself out of the play. That's what they want him to do. But instead, he does a great job of squeezing down towards the line of scrimmage, making sure nothing crazy happens, because if they're leaving you unblocked, that means they're doing it for a reason. So you're going to see him right at the top of this, come off the ball, and watch how quickly he squeezes down. As soon as he sees he's not blocked, squeeze. Right there. He eats up that blocker. And once he eats up that blocker, there's nowhere for the quarterback to go. And he makes this play. He makes this play because if he goes straight upfield, then that means that this guy, he has pretty much no one to block. And if he sees Phillips go straight up the field, he might just go out and get this dude. He might just go and get this dude. And then there's space everywhere. This quarterback, he's a runner. And, he might just be gone. And he took a couple to the house in this particular game. But Jaelan Phillips does a great job of squeezing down immediately and shutting down this play. Let's watch it one more time. Now, mind you, these are the first 3 plays of the game. And when I say that Jaelan Phillips, if he's healthy, he has all the physical tools to be a monster. This is what I mean. Watch him again, number 15, coming off the edge. Just watch the explosiveness. Watch how he bends the corner. I mean, watch how a lot of guys, they'll bend the corner and they'll do a good job of it, but it's kind of like a merry-go-round. It's like all the way around here and they have to swoop back around to get this guy, which isn't bad. But he's able to bend the corner at such a sharp angle that he can do this. He can basically bend right on a 90-degree angle and go get this dude. It's not many people can do that. Now, he doesn't get the sack. He doesn't, get the hit. But that's something that you notice. Now, you're going to see Jaelan Phillips here again. And they're going to try to feed him the bait again. And he's going to squeeze right down into the line of scrimmage again. And he's going to make sure that, he gets rewarded for his work. This time, he doesn't have to eat up a blocker. This time, he just, gets to make the tackle for loss. He's unblocked here. Immediately squeezes. This, I don't know why this pulling, I think this is a tight end pulling. He decides to completely not block him. I guess he thinks that his quarterback is going to be able to get around, but the tight end ends up botching this entire play. And since Jaelan Phillips squeezed here, he's in perfect position to make this tackle. I just love athletic edge rushers that can really just use their athleticism in the run game, that aren't just only interested in the pass game, they're also interested in the run game. And you're going to watch Jaelan Phillips basically fight through the traffic, 1, 2, 3. Pretty much 3 gaps he's going to go through, and then he's going to just make a play on the running back. So you're going to watch him be patient. Once again, he sees where the ball is going. He sees that it's a handoff, and he just is patient. He sees that he's got help in this gap, so he doesn't need to attack that. And he goes and says, I need to fill this center gap. And it's right there for him. Just fundamentally sound, boring football that makes big plays. So when I say elite edge player, I mean elite edge player. He's 15 right here on the right side of your screen. And just watch how he turns the corner. Everything that you like about him is in effect. The long arms, the agility. He uses his agility to get to the outside, uses the long arms to slap this dude's hands out of the way. And now he's free with the rip. This is just textbook. Rips, goes underneath the arm, gets off. He's completely shed this blocker. And now it's the closing speed. I'll just play it so you can see him. Closing speed, there we go. So when you're an athlete, and a lot of these athletes end up just saying, okay, I can continue to beat this guy around the corner all day. I can beat him around the corner this way. I can spin past him. He got a couple of spin moves in his arsenal. When they start to do that, the tackles start to overcompensate. So instead of a tackle taking this mini step, they're going to take a huge step to the outside. So Jaelan Phillips is taking note of that. And he actually was able to stop Jaelan Phillips on a couple of plays, pretty much block him. But now Phillips is understanding that he's overcompensating to get outside. So why don't I just go inside? And that's exactly what he does. He starts off on the outside and just attacks that inside. It's kind of a 2-step, like you're running a route, like you're Euro stepping. This is something that we see all of the premier pass rushers in the league do, kind of a Euro step outside. This tackle is completely focused on not getting beat outside. So he gives up his inside. Look how huge this gap is. And Jaelan Phillips made this gap. It's not because of anything he did on this particular play. It's because he's afraid of getting beat outside. So Jaelan Phillips goes back inside, rips, and he's free. Goes and gets the quarterback. So Jaelan Phillips is again right here at number 15. And we've seen athleticism from him. We've seen smart plays from him. We've seen physicality. We've seen it all. Now what we're going to see on this last play I'm going to show you is just pure hustle. Pure hustle and not giving up on the play. And again, he gets rewarded for not giving up. He's going to start with this rush. He's going to get inside, but the play goes outside. So what does he do when the play gets outside? Well, he follows the play. So he gets inside, beats his guy, and they're saying, okay, we've got him down blocked. He's out of the play. But no, he sticks his foot in the ground, turns back around, and runs down the first overall pick. Let's just watch this hustle. And then watch the closing speed. As he realizes he's getting blocked out of the play, watch how quickly he turns around and goes back and gets him. So I decided to stop it right here. This isn't going to be the longest film session I've done lately, but Jaelan Phillips is probably one of my top 5 or 6 favorite players in this draft. He just got so much off the field, things that you don't see when you just look at tape, things going on. First off, as I said, he had to retire because of medical reasons just about a year and a half ago. So that's definitely a big concern. You don't want a guy that you draft and in a couple of months he's having to retire again. Also, they said he's got other off the field stuff. He wants to be a musician off the field. And they say he might not take football too serious. Now, I don't know what to believe about that, because when I look at Jaelan Phillips' tape, I don't see a guy that's just playing around, that's just not really serious about the game. I see a guy that's hustling, giving it a 100% every single play. So I'm not concerned about his football effort. But could he be just giving 100% because he's trying to get into the NFL so he can fund his music career? That could be a factor, but I wouldn't worry about that. I don't think that that's a huge issue. I don't think that he's going to abandon football for music. You know, the other thing is his production has only lasted a year. When he came back off of the injury, came to Miami, this production lasted a year. He was also across from Quincy Roche, another pass rusher that's going to go probably third round, second round. So he's playing with some competition. He's really got some other guys around him that help him get these not single coverage, but he's not getting double. The bottom line is, if you can get past the other things, that's the reason that he's not projected as a top 15 pick. If you can get past those other things, he's an explosive athlete. He's a smart player. He's a strong player. And he's a player that gives it 100% every snap. And I would not mind if he ended up on the New York Football Giants. So you guys let me know where you think he's going to go. What do you think about this film session? Did you like what you saw from him? Let me know. So if you made it this deep into the video, I'm calling you a D6 Squad member. If you're a D6 Squad member, you got to hit that subscribe button. You got to turn on that notification bell. And listen, I make all kinds of content for NFL teams. So if you're not a Giants fan, don't worry. I'll cover your team. If I'm not covering your team, let me know. And have a good one.